Hi there, sorry about that. It looked like I had some technical difficulties. All right, so what we have here is I was going over the Anime Night's upcoming events. I kind of discussed a little bit of Studio AIC. So what we had first was Tenchi Muyo, second was El Hazard, third was Record of Lotus War. The fourth one is actually from Code Geass director Taniguchi, which is Gun X Sword. The story follows Van as he travels the world searching for the man that killed his bride. And along his travels, he encounters several people that have personal loss that is kind of attached to the man that killed his bride. So it's actually a pretty cool series because it's a mecha as well as a drama. You can kind of see some underlining Code Geass elements to it. So if you like Code Geass, I highly recommend checking it out. It's actually really good, and the soundtrack is superb. Next up is the Nightwalker Midnight Detective. It's adapted from a PC game entitled Nightwalker. It focuses on a horror detective story about vampires. Initially, this was only slated to be a 4-episode OVA, but actually until airing it, the production staff had decided to actually make more, and so the resulting other 4 OVA episodes had different character colorations, especially on most of the main characters. So the villain in it actually has, I want to say, brown hair in the beginning and blonde hair in the second half. So it's really weird. Also, we have Now and Then Here and There, which is a 13-episode series that follows a young boy named Shuzo as he travels to a desolate Earth-like world where water is a rare commodity. That show is actually really good too, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it, because it's so different from the lineup that I have already. Last but not least is a real popular anime. It's another harem, which is All My Goddess. It follows a college sophomore who accidentally calls this goddess helpline and ends up encountering the goddess Belldandy. He's actually granted one single wish, so he decides that he wishes that he wants Belldandy to stay with him forever. So this kind of focuses on his everyday life adventures with Belldandy and her companions and the other goddesses that kind of show up in the series. It's pretty funny. It's almost like a version of Ranma, actually. After that, on April 7th and 8th, is the Attack on Titan 25-episode marathon. It will be presented in a theater, and looking forward to that one because there will be prizes involved. And it actually lines up nicely to the second season that'll be airing around that time. Also in April, on April 19th actually, is a Composer Spotlight. I decided to do something a little different and focus on anime that have one specific composer or even multiple composers to an anime. But this one is focusing on Taku Iwazaki, most known for anime like Gurren Lagann, Witch Hunter Robin, See, The Money of Soul and Possibility Control, and especially last season's Bungo Stray Dogs. So the anime that we're going to be watching is the Rurouni Kenshin OVA, ROD Read or Die, Witch Hunter Robin, Gurren Lagann, Katanagatari, See, The Money of Soul and Possibility Control, Gatchaman Crowds, which is an awesome dubstep soundtrack, and Bungo Stray Dogs, which is a really well-versed mix of electronica and classical. It's actually really good. There will be prizes involved in that event, which most of them are going to be soundtracks to the anime that you'll be seeing. In June, on June 7th, I'll be having an anime genre spotlight. This will be a sci-fi one. This will have anime like Ghost in the Shell, Psychopaths, Tiger and Bunny, Steins Gate, Eden of the East, Darker Than Black, and kind of a weird, obscure one is Kaiba. Kaiba is done by Masaki Yuasa, and it's the story of robots falling in love. I kind of chose that one because I wanted something, at least one anime that was completely different from all the other anime that I will be screening that day. So look forward to that one. On June 28th is another Animation Spotlight. This one's going to be kind of fun. It's Kyoto Animation. They've done anime like Clannad, K-On!, Hyoka, Free, Sound Euphonium, which all those titles I mentioned are going to be screened, including Kyokai no Kanata, Beyond the Boundary, and Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Also, in the summer, in July, actually on July 26th, is going to be a genre spotlight focused on comedy. This was a kind of hard pick to do because I have a lot of favorite comedy anime. But these all include Gekken Shoujo Nazoki-kun, Nichijo, Hirakawa Under the Bridge, Orin High School Host Club, which is hilarious. It's like a romance comedy. My teen romantic comedy Snafu, and Welcome to the NHK, which is an awesome anime about guys that get together and make a dojin game. Also, I'm going to have in August is the Space Standing Marathon again, because you can never have enough space standing. And that's really it on upcoming events. Later on in the year, I'll kind of announce what will be listed for the fall and the winter lineup. But as of right now, I don't have anything planned. But if anyone has any ideas, just shoot me an email at beatslars@gmail.com. Just kind of let me know kind of what you think. If you want me to do like a specific studio, I've had some ideas with like Madhouse or Bones, but I feel like if I pick Madhouse, there's going to be like 15 shows I'm going to screen, which is going to be really funny. So kind of look forward to all those events coming up. Now is actually going to be an Animator Spotlight. This one is done on Meiko Hosoi. She's done the character designs for Shoragen Roku Rakugo Shinju, which is the second season is airing this season, and also last season's Fune wo Amu. One of my favorite character designs as of late. Really, really pretty designs. Also did Grimgar's in-card illustrations and focused on the character designs on that. I actually have the illustration book, which you can actually get off Amazon for only like 15 bucks. I mean, it's a really good deal. So this is the illustration book. It's really nice. And it actually goes in and has a lot of the opening sequences. Opening and ending sequences were also done by Ryosuke Nakamura. And Ryosuke Nakamura and Meiko Hosoi have actually worked together multiple times last year on various projects, one of which being Grimgar, another one being Battery, which Battery is a really good anime about middle schoolers that play sports. Baseball, actually. And here's some Grimgar artwork. Really awesome. I kind of wish this had like a bonus, like a score bonus that came with like a keyframe or something, because this artwork is just amazing. And I love her style with female characters too. Just the designs on the hair is really pronounced. Very, very detailed. Also did a lot of the artwork for the first ending sequence to, and a lot of the illustration art, like promotional stuff for July and April, which I think there's some in here. Here's Rakugo. I just love those designs. Meiko Hosoi also did the, worked on the artwork for the Blu-ray release too, for that anime. There's also some character designs in here too for this, which is neat. Some sketches. Oh yeah, and I forgot. She also worked on Space Brothers as well, one of the endings to that. Let's see what else is there. Also got some little nice descriptions too as well. Some nice character art, and I'm taking an art class right now, so it's kind of nice that I'm kind of reference material and everything I can just kind of play around with. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's some more Grimgar. I love the artwork to Grimgar. Really, really neat. So that's the Meiko Hosoi art book. It recently came out in Japan. I want to say it was like a couple weeks ago, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. But you can get it off Amazon Japan, maybe even Amazon.com, the US website, for pretty cheap, for like 15, 25 bucks. So that's it on the Animator Spotlight. I'm going to try to do one of those every couple of streaming events, just because it kind of branches things out a little bit and does something different from what I normally do, which is the unboxing segment. So next up is the unboxing segment. The first thing I want to go through is the Erased box set. So basically, Aniplex, known for their expensive price points, did a really nice job with this release. One of my streaming events before, I went over the first box set and compared it to the second one, compared it to the Japanese release, actually. And it actually comes pretty close. The chipboard design is nicely done. I just wish that they would have done the Kaio Hinatsuki storage box that I got as a bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. This includes episodes 7 through 12. Seven through 11, I think. Yeah. I think it's episode 7 to 11. If I can get it open. They always do such a nice job with the packaging. It's almost like I don't even want to open it. All right, so here's Erased. Now, if you noticed, it's got some of the artwork on here. Like there's a spider web and there's a spider on the back, and it's pretty neat. A lot of this artwork was done by Kei Sanbe, the original author of Erased. So a lot of this material comes from the original Japanese release. So it's got that black color to it, but just like the Japanese release. It also comes with a couple of sketchbooks and gallery books and stuff. This one is really neat. It kind of focuses on the ending. It's got a couple of panel scenes in here. It also does character descriptions. This looks identical to the Japanese release, only it's in English. I mean, down to all the artwork. They must have spent a lot on the licensing fees for this to get all the artwork kept in and everything. And I mean, since they were on the production committee, I'm sure they got some sort of deal cut so that they could retain all the material that was used. Really like that. It's really cool. Also, we've got this other booklet here, and this is actually an extra side manga. I like this one of, this is Kaio. Yeah, Kaio's on here. I don't know if you can see that. It's really neat. Just like the regular release, the Japanese. Oh yeah, this is an extra story. Takes place that was never actually featured in the manga, nor was it done in the anime. Of course, first line is, "Are you an idiot?" It's really funny. It just kind of goes through and showcases a special scene. Kind of wish they do an OVA for this kind of stuff. They have a Gaiden out right now. It's been fully compiled, and it's only a few chapters, but it focuses on a key scene towards the second half of the show and the manga that doesn't focus on Satoru, and it focuses on a lot of the side characters and what they're up to in their investigations and everything. And it also includes some rough sketches. I'll kind of skim over some since they're spoilers, but I'll kind of show you these here. Really neat. Really like this artwork. It's done nicely. Now the actual release, it's done pretty neat. Most of the disc art stays the same. except for some of the artwork on the actual discs are a little bit different. Doesn't normally have this black on it. It actually has illustrations. And I think on the inside, just like the Japanese release, yep, it's got artwork. Don't want to show you the middle one. So that's kind of a spoiler, but here's that blue butterfly, the butterfly effect. This release actually includes disc 1, which is going to be episodes 7 through 9, disc 2, which is episodes 10 through 12, and the second original soundtrack by Yuki Kaijura. Really awesome release. The only thing they left out from this was the Endless Revival disc that the Japanese release had. That was an endless run, so it would loop play episodes 7 through 12, just back to back in a lower quality format. And that's actually probably why Aniplex didn't include it, because they didn't want to include a lower quality to the release. I mean, that would be my guess. This also includes a little proof of purchase as well, and a little Aniplex survey. The other thing they didn't include is usually there's like in the inside of the storage box here would be artwork. And the second one features one of the side characters, and the first one actually has, the first box set has Kaio. Neither this one nor the original Aniplex release had it. So I think that was something else they couldn't get, which is totally fine, because otherwise, I mean, this is a great release with an English dub, a superb English dub, and English subtitles and the Japanese dubbing. It's overall a really nice release. I think it's kind of cool they didn't actually have a DVD for this. Just kind of goes to show that the Blu-ray format is pretty superior. So this was the erased Aniplex edition. The real question is if I can get everything back in here. Okay. Next up on the unboxing segment is going to be another thing I actually just got today. This is the erased Volume 1. It's the US edition. It's hardcover. It compiles the first 12 chapters. It retails for about $25, 22 to 25 bucks. I got this at Barnes & Noble. You can get it off Amazon right now with Prime for only $19. So it actually includes a lot of scenes that weren't done in the manga or were actually redone. I'll see if I can find one here. So there's this elevator scene between Satoru and Yuri that you never get to see in the anime. And also there's a confrontation at the very end of the manga that's completely different. There's like a summer camp scene, and none of that is actually shown in the anime. And there's an extra child too that they kind of describe that goes missing in the manga that was never done. That was never actually developed or anything. Overall, this is a nice release. It's all hardbound and everything. I believe it's going to be compiled into 3 or 4 volumes, with the second one slated for around July. So if you do want to pick this up and you want to find out more about the story that wasn't told in the anime, I highly recommend checking this one out. So this is the erased, and it actually features the original artwork from the first Japanese novel, or the manga. And then here's the backside here with young Satoru. All right, so next up is going to be Flip Flappers, Blu-ray Volume 2. This is the Amazon edition, which I did get a serial code bonus, which I will not be able to redeem since I don't live in Japan. I'm a little bitter about this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing open here. Now, the neat thing with flip flappers is I like the amount of content that they put in to this because they actually put in a lot of time into the artwork, especially with the cover art. Really like that. It's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get this open here. And as usual, like most of the Japanese releases, there's this insert. Usually it kind of slides outward, like so. And we've also got a nice little title here. And along this side, I like how they have Paprika and Kokona's feet on there, kind of rested in snow. That's pretty cool. All right, so I've actually never seen what this looks like, so I'm kind of in for a surprise here. All of the artwork is original to these releases, just like many Japanese releases do. This one has the kids on it with Yayaka. Really cool, and I like how shiny it kind of comes off and everything. So this comes in a almost like a real thin chipboard. And it's got a nice pink color scheme to it. This one features episodes 3 and 4, I believe. Yeah, 3 and 4, which is pretty neat. And I watched the first disc, and I actually made some pretty good improvements. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. So it's got a nice little background too as well. And if you notice on the disc, each disc actually has the ending character illustrations on it, like the different movements that they have in the ending scene. That's pretty cool. And they've got Paprika and Kokona in their flip flappers form back here, which is cool. So the content that came with this is a little booklet that kind of focuses on the character designs of episodes 3 and 4. So it's got like swimsuit Paprika on it, which is pretty cool. It's also got Boo-chan. Really like that. It's really cool. It's also got Dr. Salt as well. And then there's the kids from the insert cover. And then this is, oh, this is actually one of my favorites. Oh, cool. So they actually have the flip flappers form on this side here. And episode 3 was actually really cool because it kind of had a desolate wasteland feel, like a Mad Max style to it. Because it was like Mad Max with Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon all rolled into one. It was a great episode. So I can't wait to see what it looks like on Blu-ray. It's also got a lot of the objects and stuff as well. And a little staff interview as well. And if you notice, just like the back art, it actually has an ending illustration too of the girls, which is really cool. Overall, I really like this release. They actually did a nice job with this. It's really cool. So, hope you guys like that. You can get that on Amazon for about $60. The Amazon bonus is a storage box. Yeah, so overall, I mean, it's it's a good release. And like I said before, the first volume made some pretty significant improvements over the TV broadcast. So I'll be curious to see what they do with episode 3, because a lot of that thick lineness that that episode had, I'm sure they improved that quite a bit. So that was Flip Flappers. Next up is Mob Psycho 100 Blu-ray Volume 5 and 6. The fifth one, like all the other Amazon editions, came with a another pin, and it's Mob's brother. You can see there. Really, really cool. Really like that one, actually. It's really, really neat. So it came with that. And I'm just going to go and open this up real quick. This one actually includes episodes 9 and 10. So it's always an achievement after I finish buying a show, because I kind of feel like, hey, I have a little bit more money now. All right. So this one features some of the side cast on the front cover. It's got that usual insert here. I think slides out. Yeah. So this stuff kind of slides out like so. And I like the coloring they did on this purple. It's pretty different. It came with a Mob Psycho 100 production booklet. Like the Flip Flappers one I showed you, this does focus on the episodes on the disc. So episodes 9 and 10 and the cast as well. And it's got some keyframe segments, and something I wish these releases would include are actual keyframes, kind of like what that Kizo Monogatari Part 2 set came with those mini Ginga. Got that as well. It's a pretty small booklet. There's not very much to show off here. I actually think they made like an animation book, like a guidebook that's like 97 pages. That you can order online through like a Tinso service. You can't get it through Amazon. So that's probably why this is kind of a smaller release. Some of these booklets are. And this one, here's the disc. So it's got the same cover characters on it, and it's also got some character sketches on that side. It's actually pretty cool. And it's got Dimple on the back. Gotta love Dimple. These don't include English subtitles. I just want to let you know. Neither does Flip Flappers. So if you do want to support the show, I recommend buying them. At some point, they do want to make another season of this. They just haven't announced when. So only time will tell when that will be. This also includes a sticker set as well. So these are the stickers that are included. So a lot of the monsters and stuff that they face is pretty cool, pretty wild. So that was the Mob Psycho 100 Blu-ray Volume 5 release. And here is Volume 6. Volume 6 actually came with two buttons. This one features Mob in a different expression. Pretty cool. And here's the other character. Can't remember his name. Yeah, pretty cool. So if you order the Amazon Japan edition, you'll actually get these. If you order the regular, you wouldn't get them. So here is Volume 6. And I like what they did with this one because it's kind of a nice blend of colorization. focusing on Mob and Reigen. It kind of showcases the whole supernatural aspect of the anime. So this is pretty cool because it kind of pops out a little bit. The actual character illustrations pop out a little bit, like all the other releases. This one especially does. It's pretty cool. Kind of a nice way to do that after the final volume. So this one has what all the other ones normally had in it. And it actually has a really cool close-up of Reigen on there. There's the bowling pins and everything. It's so cool. And there's Dimple in the back in another pose, an awesome pose. Also, this came with a small booklet as well, focusing on the villains. Pretty cool. Each Blu-ray does have an extra animated short, kind of like One Punch Man had their OVAs. Only this is different because I believe they're like 4 to 6 minutes instead of a 13-minute OVA. So they're considered shorts. But they're mostly comedy routines, which is pretty cool. This also has a sticker set as well. And I really like this set. This is really neat. So it's got like the Blu-ray art there and the title and everything, like all the other ones do. So that was the Mob Psycho 100 Blu-ray Volume 6. You can still order these online, either through Amazon or HMV. I think if you order them through HMV, I think you can get a poster. Most of the bonuses have a storage box, but you have to have a serial code. Enter the serial code. You have to live in Japan and everything. So yeah, this is episodes 11 and the final episode 12. That's Blu-ray Volume 6. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Last but not least is Yuri on Ice. This is Blu-ray Volume 2. I unfortunately am not able to get Volume 3 just because of the whole AVEX ban. Now, before I go into this, I kind of want to talk about AVEX a little bit. Now, they're a huge company in Japan that actually have a lot of ends with idol companies. They help produce idol popularity in Japan. And I think a lot of the, basically what happened was last week, they issued an AVEX ban on anyone purchasing AVEX Pictures products. So any anime, DVD or Blu-ray or Anime Music City CD, like the Yuri on Ice original soundtrack, a couple of other titles as well. They actually are not allowing international customers to purchase their products online, which is totally bad business, in my opinion. Just because I think that, I mean, they're not making that extra cash flow. And from what I have read online, I have heard that not a lot of sales stem, anime-wise, anime sales stem from international customers. It's mostly within Japan. But still, they're making a little bit more profit. So I would imagine they wouldn't deny the business, but there's something else at work going on with this whole ban. So basically, CD Japan, Amazon Japan, HMV, all the companies, online retailers, are not allowing any international customers to order it. So you have to get it through a Tenso service, like from Japan. There's some other freight services you can use, but you have to pay an extra amount of money to get it shipped to you because it ships in their office in Japan and then ships out to you. So the whole ban, I think, personally, doesn't have anything to do with anime or any sort of licensing with Yuri on Ice, because they haven't even announced any sort of licensing with Yuri on Ice for retail home video release. I think this has to do with the idol companies. And I think the idol companies are pissed off right now because they've got people in Hong Kong, because basically AVEX has a couple of subsidiary companies, one of which is actually in the United States, which is why the ban is actually for the United States as well, but also in China and Hong Kong and such. But they have a Korean office as well. And so their business isn't making any money because you've got all of these fans that are wanting to buy up these idol CDs and soundtracks from Japan and not buying the Korean version of the album. Regardless if it is the same version or not, they're not buying from that subsidiary company. So that company, that staff that's actually producing the artwork and getting the fees all done and everything for processing it to sell into that country are not getting paid, essentially, because they're not making a profit. So I think that's where a lot of this whole international ban is stemming from. It hurts a lot of the anime fans, and I've noticed on Twitter especially that a lot of the fans are pissed off, including myself, just because I can't buy Yuri on Ice. But this is the second volume. I was actually able to get this before the ban. And any orders that were placed before February 15th at a certain time, especially on CD Japan, they could push them through, but I couldn't get mine in time. So I know that J-List will be selling it, because right now they're selling volumes 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, the limited edition, which is awesome. So I'm going to be following them. So if any of you are international customers living outside of Japan that want to order Yuri on Ice, order through J-List, because they're doing it, as well as the soundtrack and posters and all that stuff. So like the first release that came with a tote bag, this one comes with a little bonus, which is a pouch. And this is a really nice release. I wish they included English subtitles, but they didn't. So it's got both Yuris on it, which is really cool. And I just like the shine to it. It's really nice. This comes with a season guidebook. It has a staff interview, and it's got some topics that kind of focuses on the choreography of the specific episodes. This one has episodes, I believe, 3 and 4. Yeah, 3 and 4. And it's got a bunch of character stills and stuff as well. It's got this real close-up shot of Yuri, which is really neat. I really enjoyed this show a lot. The animation was gorgeous. Mappa did such a good job with it. And they just, I mean, it's fantastic. Its first volume, its first week, sold like 56,000 copies. I mean, that's like what a Monogatari series will sell. I'm not sure what the second volume has sold, but I'm sure it's done pretty well for itself. And the release is pretty tame. There isn't any like special radio drama or anything like that. So it's just a pretty bare bones release. But the bonus content is actually pretty nice. This one actually, I believe, it features the creditless ending sequence. So the bonus actually comes in a little white box here, just like the last one did. And I'll kind of open this pretty carefully so I don't ruin the white box. And it's actually done by some of the original animators of the show. So this one is actually a little pouch. This is adorable. So I can put stuff in it if I want to. So it's got an illustration on the front and an illustration on the back as well. It's pretty cool. I really like that. They've done a nice job with this. This is what the limited editions will have. I believe you'll still get the pouch if you order the regular edition from Amazon. Because I ordered this through CD Japan, because the issue was that Amazon was actually denying customers that lived internationally, even on Volume 2 back in December. So Amazon got wind of it way early on when all the other retailers were still selling it. So luckily I was able to get a hold of this. So hopefully in my next streaming event, I'll be able to get Yuri on Ice Blu-ray Volume 3. I don't know yet, so kind of up in the air right now. So this was the Yuri on Ice Blu-ray Volume 2 limited edition release. It's also got that nice bound cover and everything. And that's really about it on the unboxing. My next segment will be in March. It'll be the third Thursday in March. The reason why I had this tonight on a Friday was because I've been sick and everything and couldn't get to it at all. But what I've been watching this season has mainly been 4 anime. This has been Rakugo being my main priority. Konosuba, which has been hilarious this season. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the first season and then start catching up, because the second season is probably better than the first. Third is Kobayashi Dragon Maid, which is great. It's just this dragon girl that befriends this woman that lives in this this apartment complex named Kobayashi, and they have this real close-knit relationship, and all these other dragon girls start living with her and everything. It's really funny. And then there's Gabriel Dropout, which is like a kind of like a take on it's like game development, I believe, if I recall. I'm a few episodes behind, but it's pretty funny. But I love Kobayashi Dragon Maid. It's so great. So if you get a chance to kind of check out in some of the shows, I'm also watching Scum's Wish as well, which is really, really dark. But aside from that, that's all I recommend for this season. And if you guys have any recommendations on stuff you want me to go over next streaming session, just kind of let me know, and email me at beatslars@gmail.com, and I guess I'll see you guys next time.